Okay, all right. World Economic Forum infiltrated Dutch government begins euthanizing people with autism, disabilities, and alcoholism. Wow. The Dutch state has begun euthanizing citizens, including children under the age of 12, because they have minor disabilities, autism, or suffer from alcoholism. According to the government, euthanizing these people will help save the planet. The Netherlands is one of the most Davos friendly nations in the world, and the current government has embraced Klaus Schwab's vision of the depopulated world by any means necessary. Doctors in the Netherlands have been ordered to begin euthanizing citizens with autism and other minor disabilities without fear of prosecution, even if the patients do not currently express any desire to die. Around 40 people who identified as autistic or intellectually disabled were forcibly euthanized in the Netherlands between 2012 and 2021, according to a Kingston University investigation of Dutch euthanasia cases. Autism rates are skyrocketing around the device. Many experts blame the intensive um, stuff scheduled inflicted on the young and very young, according to the Dutch government, which pushes dozens of aluminum laced, you know what, on kids. Euthanasia is the answer to the explosion of autism numbers. 5 people younger than 30 were killed by doctors. All had autism listed as the sole reason behind the decision to end their lives, the Kingston University found. There are also cases of the state euthanizing alcoholics, sex abuse victims, dementia, and depression. With these cases, experts have questioned whether the law allowing to doctors to kill patients on behalf of the state via lethal injections has strayed too close to the Third Reich Nazi-style eugenics programs. New York Post reports Caspar Ross, an ethicist and public health professor at Belgium's Ghent University, said the types of patients seeking out physician-assisted unaliving have changed greatly over the past 2 decades in both the Netherlands and Belgium, where it is also legal. When the Netherlands became the first country to legalize euthanasia, the debate focused on people with cancer, not with autism, Ross said. Patients must meet strict requirements, including suffering from an incurable illness that causes unbearable physical or mental anguish, to be eligible for euthanasia, but doctors ultimately decide who qualifies. In the roughly 10-year period, the study focused on nearly 60,000 people decided to die via euthanasia in the Netherlands. According to the Dutch government Euthanasia Review Committee, of those deaths, the committee have released documents and data on 900 cases in an effort of transparency. Kingston University researchers looked at those 900 cases and found 39 of them had autism or an intellectual disability. Of the 39, 18 were younger than 50 years old. Many of these patients cited a number of mental, physical, and age-related ailments as the reason for ending their lives, including unbearable loneliness. 8 people, however, named the sole cause of their suffering as factors related to their intellectual disability, such as social isolation, lack of coping strategies, and inability to adjust to change, or oversensitivity to stimuli. One of the report's main authors, Irene Tuffrey-Wiegand, a palliative care specialist at Kingston University, questioned the ethics of ending their lives of the autistic. The thing is with self-unaliving, when you make it legal, that's a slippery slope, and many other people will be open for that. Okay, if you're trying the people who have a disability, what about people who are old? What about, and may not be senior citizens, but just people who are old. Okay, people will have an idea. Well, you're not much use to me, and find a way to have you, you know, deleted. There's no doubt in my mind these people were suffering, she said. But is society really okay with sending this message that there's no other way to help them and it's just better to be dead? One of the 8 people cited in the study was an autistic man in his 20s. He reported feeling unhappy since childhood and was regularly bullied, according to his case notes. The man longed for social contact but was unable to connect with others. Eventually decided he wanted to die because having to live on this way for years as was an abomination. Thus, psychiatrist Dr. Bram Sizzle was disturbed by the trend. Some of them are almost excited at the prospect of death, Sizzle said. They think this will be the end of their problems and the end of their family problems. In a third of the cases, Dutch doctors determined that there was no prospect of improvement for people with autism and intellectual disabilities, according to the study. The director of Cambridge University Autism Research Center, Simon Baron Cohen, worried that people with such disabilities may not fully grasp the decision to end their lives. He called it abhorrent that they were not offered more support and were instead euthanized. This is just plain evil, man. It's just evil. I mean, people who feel like this, they should be encouraged to live, encouraged to have hope, and to work on themselves, and to be grateful for life. All right. But to go on and tell them that, it's okay to just pull the plug. It's okay to just turn off your game. And when I mean that, your life, turn off your game console, turn off the lights, just take that car and just crash it off a cliff. Human life is becoming cheap when you do this type of stuff. When you just help people quit on life, you make life cheap. And it very much, represents Nazi Germany's eugenics program. Okay. Very much like Planned Parenthood. And I do believe by allowing Planned Parenthood to survive and to thrive, this is the end result. Because if you could delete babies from the womb, who says you can't delete grown adults or children? Okay. That just because they weren't born the same as you, now you want to take them out. For some reason, you feel you are the judge, jury, and executioner, that you are God, and you are saying, you know what? You're not fit to live. That's the mentality of the people who created the eugenics program with Planned Parenthood, with Margaret Sanger. That was the idea. There was people thought other people were undesirables and that you should be deleted. Someone should pull the plug on your game, on your life. And look where we are now. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right. I'm also on Spotify if you want to check out my content. Other than that, anything you want to know about this channel is in the description box. You know what to do. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.